Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. This is a video of my K&N oiled air filter, and it needs cleaning, so I'm going to be taking it off and cleaning it. You just wash it with soap and water actually, and then you re-oil it. But I also wanted to show you something. This is called the zip tie modification. And what it is a way to let a little more air into your intake by taking off the original equipment air box, which is right here. The original equipment air box on an LS6 motor flows air pretty good, but you can flow a little bit more by taking it off. Mainly, let me caution you, if you live someplace where it rains a lot, this probably does protect the engine from getting water into it by dripping through this opening in the hood and getting water puddled into this air cleaner and then getting it sucked into the engine. So caution, caution, caution. Okay, you've been warned. I live in Southern California and I don't drive it in the rain, so no biggie. But the air cleaner, either the stock air cleaner or this K&N air cleaner, goes in here in the air box. Just fits right in there. Put that back on. Put that back on. I'm not going to get into showing you how to change the air cleaner or anything like that. What I have to do is cut all these zip ties, take this air cleaner off, and then clean it up, and then zip tie it back on there. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got 4 on the top. I drilled some holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would hold this frame on. This frame holds the air cleaner, and this right now I'm pushing with my thumb on the little rubber seal of the air cleaner. And I've also got 4 zip ties on the bottom. So all those have to be clipped off and replaced every time you clean it. But you only have to clean this maybe once a year, maybe twice a year if you race it a lot. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do today. So I'll go get my clippers and be back. Well, thank goodness I just made a terrific discovery. I only have to take the top 4 tie wraps off, and this will slide right out. The bottom ones are acting like a hinge, as I think you can see. So originally when I installed this, I probably pulled, well, yeah, I guess that wouldn't be too hard to do. I just pulled this whole air box out like the other one that I showed you, and with the air box out I was able to do the bottom ones. But now, woohoo, I can clean this, maybe clean it a little more often. Let's see. Now I'm going to try and show you. You know, that's pretty clogged. I'm holding up against the sun, or that's even better, up against the sun, and I'm trying to show you any daylight that shines through. There, you can see it there. Alright, so it's still flowing. I mean, my motor feels strong, and but there you can see through. It definitely could use a washing. So I'm going to make a bucket of soap and water and show you how to wash this. Okay? There you go. It's gone. In the bucket. Get some hot water going. And I'm using the air cleaner to stir it up. I'm going to fill it about halfway, and then I'll wash this half at a time and flip it over. And I'm going to use a brush, which I'll show you when we get back outside. This is in the laundry room here. It's getting hot. And this is what they actually recommend. This is not something Froggy made up. K&N says just wash it with soap and water. Dawn is my favorite because it cuts grease. It's good for stripping wax off your car if you need to strip the wax off your car. And I need to get some more of it. It's getting kind of low. Yeah, that's enough. Okay. So we'll take this outside. And here's an old shower brush that I'm recycling, repurposing. Is that what they call it these days now? And I'm going to need 2 hands to scrub this. But I'll show you afterwards, and I'll show you how clean it gets. Okay, Froggy out for the moment. Okay, we get that all pretty clean now. I'm going to take some compressed air and blow it dry. Not too hard. Now I'm going to straighten out any bent. What this is, let me explain it to you. It's a cotton material or some layers of cotton material, and they're covered by a screen. It's just like a regular old screen. And you put a very light coating of oil on it, and the oil, as the air with dirt or dirty particles or very small particles passes through, it sticks to the oily cotton, and that's how the air cleaner works. The other more common kind is a paper air cleaner. The paper air cleaner works great also. When it gets clogged up though, it tends to clog up solid. When these get dirty, they don't really clog up. They get, you know, a little more restrictive, but really not that much. A paper air cleaner gets very restrictive when it's clogged up. So they just work differently. These last pretty much forever. The paper air cleaners, you can bang the dirt out of them and maybe reuse them once. Hey, Mike. And but if you try to use it more than once, you really need to just buy a new one. So now it's a kind of a breezy day. And you can see the palms blowing a little bit. It's really a pretty breezy day. And I'm going to leave it out in the air here and let it dry for half an hour or so. And then I'll show you how I oil it. Okay, Froggy's back, and this is pretty dry now. The sun came out. So I want to show you, the sun is very high in the sky now, so I'm having a little trouble getting the angle here. There. I want to show you how clean it is now. You can see through it. Much lighter and brighter. So it'll be very interesting to see how the engine feels without all that junk on the filter. Now I do want to correct one thing actually. I told you that soap and water could be used to clean it, and Dawn dishwashing soap in particular. And I looked up, according to K&N themselves, they do not recommend that. They have their own cleaner that comes in a little kit. However, I think it's okay to use Dawn, but that's just my personal opinion now. If you want to follow the manufacturer's instructions, then you can buy this cleaner that they use. I don't know what it is, but it sure does seem to get clean with plain old soap and water. Okay? I like to apply the oil. It's a spray-on oil. It's a light oil. I'm just going to recommend using the K&N oil because, to me, if you could find any other light oil that's a spray-on oil, it would probably work fine. This is red in color. Red is kind of good because it shows you where you've sprayed it and where you haven't sprayed it. I'm going to check the directions before I tell you how to use it. Here's what they say. Spray the oil on the dirty side of the filter, or the side that's going to get dirty. Many light coats are better than 1 or 2 heavy coats, so I'll go probably 3 or 4 light coats. Let it soak in for about 20 minutes, and then you flip it over and look at the other side to see if it's soaked in evenly. And if you see any spots that do not have oil on them, then you could reapply to the dirty side again. If you see any dripping, you probably put too much oil on. You don't want to over oil it because it can affect other parts of the engine, mainly the MAF, mass airflow sensor. If you get a bunch of oil on that, that's not going to work very well. You want to end up with an even pink color over the entire surface of the media, both sides. So let's put a coat on there. I usually just, I'm inside here because it's a little breezy on the outside, and spraying oil is kind of like spraying paint. You don't want a breeze going on. So let me spray a coat on there, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, I think you can see that red tint, and that was a pretty light coat. When it hits this rubber here, it puddles up a little bit, so don't count that. I'm just going to wipe that with a rag before I put it back in there. You're liable to get some little accumulation of oil there, but you just want to have a nice even coat on the media, the pleated media. Okay, so we're going to let that soak in, and then we'll go back and hit it again. Well, I put 3 light coats on there, and I wiped the excess off here, and I think that's about enough. It's not going to be as bright red on the other side, but I am seeing kind of a reddish tint. I think it'll soak in a little bit more, but I want to get this back together before too much time goes by. I can definitely see the red tint in a few of the areas, and where, you know, the main suction is through the central area here, so that probably still has a tiny little bit of clogging still in there. Not much air passes through around these edges. I'm going to slide it back in. That side goes towards the air inlet, and I'm going to bang it a few times to make sure. You can see a few little drips there. That's mainly from direct contact. It's not really dripping off, it's just a direct contact with the paper. And then I'll put it back in.